most in this world besides, my children and now Jason. But just it has been so hard, and I started to go back to that dark place, and I realized, that you can't do that because your life is worth so much more. And to go back to that dark place would not be honoring who she was and who she was to me. So sure. I wouldn't do that. But if I could reach anybody, it'd be like, don't go there. And if you ever need anyone to talk to, just look me up on Facebook.
And what's your Facebook again? How do they find that?
Stephanie Curto, and it's Curto. It's a terrible last name, but it's okay.
Not Cuto. It's not Cuto.
It's not.
I always pronounced it Cuto, and I don't know
One
why.
day it'll change.
And also, if you'd like to read some of Stephanie's blogs, and you can get a sample of one on the first page of her very first blog that she wrote on the ChrisTopProgram.com. But if you'll go to my website and look at the Life is Good tab, click on that, and it'll actually take you to all the blogs, and you can scroll down and read every one that Stephanie's written so far. They're pretty dark, but there's always a silver lining, and I think that's the message, because and I've said this so many times today, but it's just good, I think, for people to read that and hear stories like yours, because it's just so important for them to know that they're not alone.
They are not alone. And if I could, there were some really important people that came into my life, because I was in a dark place. I actually moved. I lived in Nashville at the time of my divorce, and I moved to Alabama for that is the last place I wanted to ever move to. But moved there because I had a friend there. But I had some people there that touched my life. And if they're listening, they know how much I love them, and just a shout out to them. But they touched my life, and they're very godly people, and they changed me, and they helped get me in the right direction, because without them, being in my life, I don't know that I would have. So that's why I say, if anyone needs someone to talk to, I'm not just saying it, like, I would totally be there.
She totally means it, because she will talk your ears off.
I would.
But so you've got your blog, and you've got your Facebook page.
Yes.
What's that called?
Oh, beautifully. I'm like, what? You just call me off guard.
Facebook
What? What are you talking about? No. Beautifully Broken.
So they can actually look that up on Facebook. And,
yes.
And I guess maybe share stories there, or leave
definitely.
comments and that kind of thing. So there's a ton of different ways for them to actually get in contact with you. So,
yeah.
So that's good. That's good. Now, as far as say the next 5 years, I mean, learning everything that you've learned, the hard road that you've been down. I mean, where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years?
Well, if my daughter-in-law is listening to this, I see myself being a Mimi, a grandma one day.
Oh, my goodness.
But it'll be a little while. Like, they're in California, and I want my son's in the Marine Corps, so I want them to finish all what they're doing there. It'll be a couple of years. And hopefully getting married again one day. And, this will be third marriage, but the final one.
Third time's the charm, right?
That's right. And, just living a life where my children are, I want to leave a legacy where they know I loved God and I loved them, and that love is the most important thing. Because actually, when my grandmother passed away, I was just looking around at the things she had, and nothing mattered but the way that she loved people. And that was the greatest testimony of her life, was people would just say how much she loved people, and she had a love for all people. And I used to be so embarrassed. People would tell me I had such a big heart, and, I'd feel so weak when people tell me that, like, you have such a big heart, and people just run over you. And, actually having a big heart is a really good thing, because you have compassion for people where other people might not. So,
well, it's harder to care than it is to not.
Yeah. And I love people. Sometimes I get real aggravated at them, but I love them, and I just want to try to help as many people as I can. So I want to leave a legacy of love. Just that I loved as many people as I could.
Sounds like a Beatles song.
Yeah, maybe I should write a song. I can't sing, but...
Okay, now I've got a really important question to ask you.
Okay.
No,
I'm not going to marry you. Allie will.
We've got about 11 minutes left, so I want to ask you this really important question. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Can you take a deep breath? Okay. If you could have any superhero power, what would it be?
Oh my God, that's so... I knew you would ask me something crazy like that.
I got to.
It's tough way.
I don't know. I think reading people's minds.
Nice.
Why on earth would you want to read somebody's mind?
Because I like to know what people are thinking.
Could you imagine being able, I mean, if you knew what everybody thought, you may not have any friends. Because, I mean, a lot of times people think things that they wouldn't say. It's just, they're just venting in their mind. I'm not saying that I would think anything bad about you. Because
You don't? Oh,
no,
please
never.
don't.
Never. I mean,
I talk too much. That's what you think.
That's exactly what it is. Because he just said it on the show.
Can she
You just
be
said
quiet
that
for a
out loud.
Chris.
Okay.
Hey, I haven't talked too much.
Now, beside your grandmother,
Yes.
okay, beside your grandmother, and I'm going to say that because I think that's what you would have said. So I'm going to make it harder for you. If you had 5 minutes to sit down and have a cup of coffee with anybody, this could be anybody living, dead, throughout history, people you've known, people you didn't know, who would it be? And that's a tough one. That's a tough one because there's lots of people.
Does that have to be a person?
No.
I don't know. I think that really, like, if I could just have 5 minutes with God, just to tell him what direction he wanted my life to go in, and if I was doing what pleased him, that would be where I would go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
honest.
get
That'd
that.
be cool.
I get
Yeah.
that.
Just 5 minutes. Just tell me what you want me to do. And I know I screwed up a whole lot, but I'm trying my best now.
Like,
so.
hey, how do you turn water to wine? That would
Yeah,
be
that's awesome. Can I
kind of
do
a
that?
cool- kind of a cool trick as well, for sure. So I know that you're in a pretty big relationship now, but is it
Yeah.
okay if she cooks for me every once in a while? I mean, is that
Hey, you don't want me to cook for you. Are you insane? Sure, it's okay.
yeah? Please cook for him.
Jason begs me not to cook.
Look, see, that's the stereotype that all women are good cooks. I'm not a good cook. You're not.
No, I'm not a good cook.
He's a great cook because he works. Yeah, he knows how to do that.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for taking the time out, and because I know you don't live close. I mean, you live
No, I
pretty
don't.
far away, but
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming out. And is there anything else that maybe we missed that you want to hit home with, or do you feel pretty good about what we talked about?
No, I feel good about it. I just really wish if I can just reach one person and help them save their life. That would be awesome to me. Suicide is not the answer. And that is so strong in my heart, and something that I didn't even realize I would really talk about suicide when I started blogging, but it just came out. And it's really near and dear to my heart. Don't take your life. That's not the answer. There's so much more to life. Even if you don't have anyone else around you, there's so much more to live for. I promise.
You never know what's around the corner. I mean,
Yeah, don't. Believe me, my life was a hot mess. A real hot mess before you met me. I was very humbled. I mean, if people knew the whole story, they would understand. I was very humbled. No car, no home, no nothing. So I was extremely humbled. I had to start from the bottom.
Rock bottom, and then you went even lower.
Yeah, and my granny would always tell me, because before she had dementia, she was my best friend, and there were times during that 30 party girl stage where I was just going crazy. I'd be like, God, my life is just crazy, and could it get any worse? And she's like, don't say that, it can always get worse. God can always make it worse. But she was a big believer in God, where she'd be proud of me today.
I think I've seen pictures of you on the internet from the 30 party girl state.
No, you haven't. Stop it.
It's YouTube or something. I don't know. But anyway, and Martin's got a good point. He says, I think you've already saved lives, and you never know. I mean, the things that we say and the things that we do, it could just be maybe you smile at somebody at the supermarket. It could make such a big difference in their life.
And you don't know. And thank you, Martin, for saying that. And it's not me. There are a lot of people who probably are on here who don't have, faith in anything. But for me, I do. For me, it's, a higher power, whatever you want to call it. I call it God. But whatever you want to call it, that is what keeps me going. Because if I didn't have that, I would lose my mind. Yeah. So I think that that's important to share and for people to know. But you have to have something. Everyone has to have something. And I just pray that if I could just touch one person's life and save that life, it's not me saving your life, believe me, because my life can be a hot mess at times. You can ask Chris. It's just a hot mess. but
that's why we love you. That's why we love you.
But just staying in there and staying strong and keeping the faith, because you do not know what's around the corner. And I promise you, 3 years ago, I wanted to give up on everything, but my life has been so blessed in so many ways. Even if I was very wealthy at the time, had a lot of material things, and it was all taken away from me. Now I don't have all those things so much, but I promise you my life is full of blessings and so much happier than it was then. And you don't need all that. Those things are great. Don't get me wrong, but you don't need it all. I promise. There's so much more to life than that.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on here.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I know.
Gee whiz.
And I hope people will read my blogs, and they might be a little dark at first, but, I hope it helps someone.
Are you going to write another one anytime soon?
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, you were so loud.
It's
I'm
okay.
not even beside the microphone, boy.
Well, thank you all so much for listening today. And like I said earlier, we don't take you for granted. I promise you that, because there are so many other things you could do. But you took time out of your day to listen to us, and that does make us feel pretty damn good. It really, really does. And if you've got a chance, if you're in Nashville during the CMA Fest, make sure you stop by BB King's and say hi, because we'll be there on the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th from 11 until 7-ish. So if you want to come by and see one of your favorite artists, hang out for a while. And you never know, you might be one of the lucky ones that we invite to dinner on Saturday night. So that would be cool. Are you coming to dinner with us on
Jason
Saturday
and I
night?
are coming. Yeah.
Sweet. But we're going to have like a big table set up and people coming in. It's going to be fun.
I'm not famous, but you can meet me too.
There you go. So you come out and see Stephanie and talk to her a little bit if you want to. But yeah, we're going to have just...
Yeah, woo woo.
But there's still a few people I'm going to invite that we've had on the show. And then I may just pick a few randomly during the interviews if you show up and say hi. So we'll see how that goes. But I do want to thank... just all the sponsors that we have so far. We've got Nova Vapors, Hey Sugar Shop. We've also got Plato's Closet that's helping us out. And we're still talking to Big League Chew, but I think they're going to come through for us as well. So, and of course, BB King's for giving us the venue, the free food to give away. It's just going to be so much fun, and I'm very excited to meet all of you guys. It's just going to be a good time. We feel important for like 3 days.
Yeah.
You are important.
So it's
And then we're going to go through withdrawals after it.
I know. But anyway, do you want to take us out?
Yeah!
All right, I'll let you take us out.
Wow, I just messed that up.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you for listening to the show. And until we broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and we're gone. Maybe dark things might be looking grim. I guess it's time for an acronym.
2, 3, 4.